Hello, Will Thunder Talks here with another video. First video in the new crib. You can see behind me that there's stuff. There's still a bunch of stuff. I'm still unpacking. But we're in a new house, we're in a new place, and we are back at it. Very excited to get back into videos after the mini hiatus with the house move. And the first video is pretty related to that. So the first video we're working with today is having your habits nuked. What do? So as you can see, I'm somewhat different. If you've seen these videos before, I'm Will from the UK. I make videos on things I think are interesting and things I think I want to talk about. And today I'm going to talk about my own habits, my habits that are being nuked. And one of my habits is to make these wonderful videos, people. And I feel like that habit has been compromised by the ever-changing environment that I find myself in. I've been building out my new office. It is a lot more space now. I don't know if you guys could tell in the previous videos, but it was pretty cozy. I didn't have a lot of space to move. Now I can just move, and I can do push-ups in here if I want. I got a treadmill behind me. I don't know if you can see the treadmill. You probably can a little bit, maybe not because of the chair. But there's a lot new in here. There's a lot new in my house. My house is bigger. I have a garden now. If you can see behind me, it's very sunny outside today. And we've just had a bit of rain, thankfully. Oh, I'm so glad there's been rain. But my habits have been nuked. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, what I'm about. I'm almost setting my agenda going forward because I've been in this house now for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, coming up 3 weeks really. And I'm thinking like, what vibes do I want to set in this house? Like, what do I want to do in this house? What kind of creative stuff do I want to do? How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to build habits that are going to make me feel like I'm setting myself up to feel whole and positive? And I guess if I'm honest with myself, I had a bit of a slump, right? I was playing this new game called The Beast of Reincarnation by Game Freak, the renowned Pokemon developers. It's okay, it's fine, it's mid. Yeah, I kept playing it, and I guess all I did was play video games for a few days, and I felt like I kind of slumped back into video game addiction days. I had a bit of a relapse with all my habits breaking down. And something I've really been reflecting on today and yesterday especially is kind of like, well, what? Like, I don't feel good doing that, right? And I think that's something that I think is really important when thinking about what you do. When your habits are nuked, what leads you to feeling steady and yourself and like you're in the right place and you're working towards things you care about? I think a lot of it has to do with taking a step out of the stimulation for a second and being like, how do I feel about this? That's something I've really been doing today and yesterday, going back to basics. And by basics I mean wake up, don't touch my phone for half an hour. How do I feel? Do I feel like I made a good use of yesterday? Do I feel like I made a good use of today? I was listening to a podcast in a Cosmos, and they were talking about doom cycles and doom loops. And this is very relevant to kind of how I've been feeling recently. That I'm like, have I been in doom loops? Have I been in cycles that pull me away from my goals and my aspirations? And like, what is helping me do that? Why am I not doing that? Right? So I was kind of looking at that a bit, and I was like, hey man, like, why am I just like gaming and not like building courses and developing my ideas and write music? At least I did write a little bit of music, but not as much as I would have liked. And my habits really have felt nuked. I also feel like there's been a bit of brain fog I've been experiencing recently. Might be in part due to a lot of the intense physical exercise that I've done. Moving into this house was insane. My friends helped me. Thank you, friends. You know who you are. And you know, I really appreciate their help, but I did a lot of heavy lifting, and then I went and helped a friend move and did a lot of heavy lifting there. I had a van out, pushed myself quite a lot, and I've also when it's really hot, don't know if you guys find this, but when it's really hot, I find it really hard to eat as often as I should. So I'm moving all the stuff, moving all the house stuff, cracking on. Everything's been like not concrete. I've not been doing my normal habits that I do, my habits and routines. And I'm a firm believer that habits and routines hone and refine how you live your life, how you think, right? Because something that was interesting off that Inner Cosmos podcast was that like we have like loops that happen in our head, right? So if you're like a programmer, there are like program loops that certain parts of the code can get into, right, if it's not resolved, right? So like an if-else statement, for example. So if screen is blue, do this, or else do this, right? Output this and restart the loop, right? And our thoughts work like that a lot too, where like if we're in a habit, we have a habit of doing something, we kind of know, okay, so if I cook an egg, that was their example, I need to check on the egg to see if it's done or not, and if it isn't done, it needs to keep cooking, and the rechecking is kind of that loop, right? And that's like valuable and important in a way, because we need to stay on task. That's how we stay on task. And it really had me thinking, like, how do I stay on task? How do my habits keep me on task? And I think ultimately they keep me on task because I'm okay with less stimulation. I condition myself to have less stimulation. I do meditation to kind of calm my mind down. I be in nature or exercise, and that helps me kind of calm down too, in a way where I can kind of be more still. And like those are all habits like I had before I moved house, right? And now like I've moved house, I've gone to the gym today for the first time in, I'll be honest, 12 days. That's probably the longest gap I've had without like actually going on holiday for a while. I usually go twice a week, so to go like almost like once in 2 weeks, not a good look for me. Mainly, like I don't care about like going all the time, but I do care about regulating myself, having my body feel good, okay? And that hasn't happened. I mean, I've lost a bunch of weight from this whole escapade. I'm on 105.2 kilos, so we are 5.2 kilos away from goal weight. Insane. Never been this light in my life. I'm doing assisted pull-ups, which is wild, with a little bit of help from the machine, but I'm doing the pull-ups, and I'm still benching similar. My muscle strength is still pretty good, about the same it was 40 kilos ago, so we're looking good, boys. But those habits, again, are being nuked. And how I'm rebuilding them is by just taking it back to the things that regulate me first. So, meditating, exercise, gym, and then also a little bit away from tech, a little bit more towards moving, a little away from tech, a little more towards moving. That's kind of how I do it. And to be even more concrete, don't play video games. I'm having a no video game day today. And I'm going to go walking, and I'm going to go thinking, and I'm going to go learning after my clients. And I think that'll help me kind of be like, cool, so this is what I care about, this is what I'm about. I guess I've been feeling like I've been missing the context that encourages me to reflect on my own feelings, to reflect on where I am, to reflect on where I'm going. I think a lot of my historic work has encouraged me to be quite reflective and introspective. And I don't go to college anymore because I'm qualified counsellor. So I just have clients, and I have my coaching practice, and I see clients there. I guess I feel feeling a bit of a loss of this context that would prompt me to do things that are good for me. So you have to pick it back up. And it's hard. And I think a big part of what's helping me start with my habits is acknowledging that, yeah, man, I've dropped the ball. and I've got to accept that I dropped the ball. I think initially it's kind of hard for me to go, yeah, man, I've dropped the ball. But I've dropped the ball. I've dropped the ball a bit with my habits. You know, with the house move, fine. My wife's not been 100%, so I've been supporting her. You know, there's things that happen in life sometimes and you get thrown off. Okay? But I think I can accept that I can get back on the saddle. And I think I'm going to leave that there for today. You've been wonderful. I've been Will. Would love to hear from you. Would love to hear about you. Good luck. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.